please don't tell your child you're going to catch a cold, because if they're doing everything right, they're not going to catch a cold, although I even say that myself every once in a while. What do the red lines on the white of your eyes mean? There's something called iridology, where we, as holistic practitioners, will either look at the whites of your eyes, and that's the sclera, or the pupil of your eye. And that's also very telling. Those are my two favorite things to look at is the tongue and the eyes, because I sometimes look at a person's eyes and I'm like, is this for real? And if they miss telling me something, I say, you know what, this showed up that you were having this, and then they're like, oh, I forgot to tell you that, So it's not something that I make up, it's your body telling you. So the whites of your eyes, and I have this handout here so you can see it, will tell you all sorts of things. If you're having problems with your kidneys, with your reproductive organs, with your larynx, with your vital cords, if you're having problems with your intestines, oh my goodness, wherever the redder the lines and the closer to the pupil, the more significant the problem. Because the white of your eye should be just that, it should be white. And if it isn't white, then why isn't it white? So that is another indicator. Oh, he would like that because he's an optometrist. So and also your vital cords at 12 o'clock. If you can imagine your eyes at 12 o'clock, most people will have red lines at 12 o'clock coming down closer to the iris. And if you do that, it's really incredible because your vital cords is your key, is your energy. And part of healing is knowing that you can do it. My background as an occupational therapist, I've had people that have strokes. And some of them will say, you know what, I can do it. And their mindset is so powerful that you can't tell them that they're not going to get better. And to me, they will get better because in their mind, they're going to get better. But there have been people that have not been as severely affected by a stroke. Maybe they can't feel their hands, and in their mind, they're not going to get better, and because they don't think they're going to get better, they won't. So the way that you think, your vital force, your energy, your ki, is super important with your health. All right. So this is what it looks like. This is, I think, the right. I don't know if you can tell. And you see, we look at the pupil, which is this, and then we look at these red lines. So some people have that, that's not a big deal, but if you see how close it is to the pupil, the closer it is, the more significant the problem. And this person right here, I think this part represents whoever has the sheet. This represents the kidneys and the colon. So if you got a lot of stuff there, that means you got a lot of stuff down here that needs to come up. All right? And now this is the pupil, and this is the area which represents. Did they teach you this in optometry? No? Okay. So here you have it. And a lot of times, very good iridologists can figure out if a person has cancer. Not only will it come up in the thumbs and other areas, but it'll come up in the iris of the eye. If you're having any issues with your, again, your stomach, your heart, your lungs, your vital cords, it'll come up here. I particularly like looking at the white of the eye. For me, it's easier because again, I don't have to shine down the light. But you can look at both and see, and that is another good indication of what we look at that physicians don't generally look at when they're looking at the eye to see if it's that big. So we can tell a whole lot from the eyes and the tongue. And, we look at funny things that you wouldn't even think of. We look at the sole of your feet. Sometimes people wear out, this part or the top, and depending on where you're putting the pressure on your foot, it can, if you're wearing on the outside of your foot, it can be gallbladder challenges. So then I would look to see if not only is it showing up in your foot when you walk, but then I would look at it to see if it's showing up in your eyes, because then it's double the amount. If you kind of wear out the tip here, that means that you're neurotic, you're very nervous and always in a hurry. So that means you need to slow down. And so I can give you those tips, but if I don't see them and if I don't pay attention to them, I don't know it. And sometimes we're not even aware because we don't look at our bodies daily. We don't look at our tongues on a daily basis. We don't know what's going on. We just feel the pain. We only know we're not healthy when we feel, oh my God, my back hurts. Oh my God, my knee. What's that sound? My back. Whatever. So what we want to do is educate. We want to educate. But there are some things that you can do, and I've already told you. You can observe your tongue every day. You can take a look at your nails. We're always growing and changing. If you have a zinc deficiency and you start taking foods that can help with that, you see it'll grow out and you won't get able to say, oh my God, this is my intestine, but you can see if you start eating a little bit better, if you start sleeping, if you get that monthly massage, that those lines in your eyes aren't as red, and you are a little bit more relaxed, and that has a lot to do with your health. We want to know bowel movements. I don't care what any physician in the world says. I will challenge him. I don't care if it's not written in any book. You have to have regular bowel movements every single day. What happens if you're not having those bowel movements? What happens?
You're full of...
It builds up inside. All that crap is staying in your intestines, and it becomes very toxic. And so when it's kind of stirring up in big boils and acne and all kinds of nonsense, you know why? It has to come out. And if it doesn't come out on its own, I always say make an appointment with your toilet. Sit down and regularly. I always do this, but when you honestly, some people are really backed up. So when you have, if you're not going every day, and you have to get into the habit of going, you get your nails and your hair done, make an appointment with the bathroom. So this is your toilet. Now most toilets are high, so ideally what you want to do is get a stool and have your knees be higher than your hips, because that will make the bowel movement come out a little easier. In Japan, a lot of the toilets you squat like this, so your knees are higher than your hips. So go to the bathroom, even if you don't go sit down there, pick up the article to read 10-15 minutes, and make that appointment. Sooner or later, you will be going. So that's good, because it's going to be coming out. The smell and color of your urine, make sure it's not a stinky smell, a foul smell, or too much medicine. I know my mother always used to say, que no huele a rosa. Your bowel movements are not supposed to smell like flowers, but they're not supposed to be so toxic that you that everybody's running out the bathroom because you said, I shouldn't stink that much. Your bowel movements are not, it's true, they're not going to smell like flowers, but they shouldn't be stinking up the whole house. What's your energy like? And you kind of keep that in mind. Are you always low energy? Do you need that cup of coffee in the morning to get you started? Do you need that cup of coffee in the morning to give you that bowel movement? That's not good. You should just kind of wake up without that alarm clock, jolting you. We should be in sync with the rotation of the earth, and if we're not, then we're not in balance and we're not healthy. Look at your sleep patterns. I know some of us have jobs that we work from 3 to 11. I hope you get another job that's better. But in the meantime, be sure to get your 6 to 8 hours of sleep, depending on what kind of person you are. You know yourself. You know that when you don't get enough sleep, your vital force is down, your energy is down. You may be cranky if you have kids. You're like, oh my God, don't bother me today. So we need our sleep as part of being healthy.